Have you ever set an execution policy in PowerShell, only to find that it doesn't show up in your C# code? It's a puzzling situation, isn't it? If you face this issue, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to unravel why the new execution policy set from PowerShell isn't visible in C#. I totally get it. It can be incredibly frustrating when you think you've made a change, only to realize it hasn't taken effect where you need it. You're definitely not alone in this. Many developers encounter this exact issue. Let's dive into the specific question at hand. One user asked, why isn't the new execution policy set from PowerShell visible in C#? They provided some code snippets showing how they set and retrieved the execution policy, but the change wasn't reflected in their C# application. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what's going on here? When you set the execution policy in PowerShell, it might not affect the current session of your C# application. This can lead to confusion, especially when you expect the changes to be immediate. Let's break this down further. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a crucial tip that can help you manage execution policies more effectively in your applications. To understand why the execution policy set in PowerShell is not visible in C#, we need to clarify how execution policies work in different scopes. The user should know that execution policies can be set at the process, user, or machine level. Next, the user should check the scope of the execution policy when it is set in PowerShell. By default, when PowerShell is run, it may set the execution policy only for the current session, which does not affect the C# application running in a different context. To ensure that the execution policy set in PowerShell is visible in C#, the user can set the execution policy at the machine level. This can be done by running PowerShell as an administrator and using the command set execution policy scope local machine. After setting the execution policy at the machine level, the user should verify the change by running the get execution policy command, again in both PowerShell and C#. This will confirm that the new policy is now visible across different contexts. Finally, if the user continues to experience issues, they should consider restarting their C# application or the PowerShell session to ensure that all changes take effect properly. Fun fact: the execution policy in PowerShell is like a security guard at a club. It decides who gets in and who doesn't. But sometimes the guard might not communicate with the bouncer at the door, leading to confusion. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by another user highlights the importance of scope when setting the execution policy. They suggest using the set execution policy command with different scopes, such as current user, local machine, and process. The user believes that the default scope is process, which could be causing the visibility issue in C#. Here's the tip I promised. Always check the context in which your code is running. Understanding the environment can save you a lot of headaches when dealing with execution policies. And there you have it. Now you know why the execution policy set from PowerShell might not be visible in C#. Remember, understanding the context is key. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks, and don't forget to check out our other content.